70% of kids are dropping out of sports by age 13. One of the main reasons why they found out, it's not fun, and they're not meeting the expectations of their parents. Think about that stat. How are you bringing joy into the equation? That should be your North Star. How are we making this enjoyable for the kids? How do we want our kids to continue to play? Because as the studies and stats show in research, more likely to finish college, more likely to get a higher paying job, a better mental health, all these things we know that sports help with. So think about that rather than what I think society has programmed us to do of winning college scholarships, all those things.
Understand why some of us might not be able to fully grasp that this is for them. It's expensive. And so I understand that the parents want to get a return. There's like an investment that they're seeing in the process of youth sports. And I just want parents to remember, if you have it as a parent in your mind, that you are expecting a return of investment that is correlated to a college scholarship or getting into a good college or an NIL deal, right? If that is what your return on investment is, then you are going to be a parent on the sidelines that has unrealistic expectations that is probably going to get out of hand.
You know what? The reason why kids sports have failed is because there's a couple of reasons. Number one reason is too expensive. Kids sports are so expensive where parents are making a decision, I'm not putting my kid in that sport. The reason why is because the sports is expensive. You got the traveling leagues, you got the equipment, all the things that you need is too damn expensive. Sports back in the day used to be a cheap alternative for our kids to go play and let them go play, but it wasn't breaking the pockets of parents. Now what we see in kids sports, to own these leagues is like owning a business. So the people that own these leagues are trying to make a return on their money by setting up this league. And what is doing is making the prices go higher, higher, and higher. So some of these parents just don't even want to put their kids in it unless they're really good because they feel like it's not even worth their money. So they want a return on investment. Number two, parents have unrealistic expectations on these kids. Some of these kids in sports are late bloomers. Some of these kids in sports don't get good until maybe their last year in high school. These parents want their kids to be good now, right now. You need to be good now so you can get a scholarship. So what that does, that put unrealistic pressure on your kid because your kid is really just want to play for the love of the game. What we see now in all sports, these kids don't have a love of the game. They are forced to play. It's not like kids like me when I grew up. I just loved playing basketball. So I go to the park and play for hours because I love the game. I wasn't doing it to get paid. I wasn't doing it to do a scholarship. I was just doing it because I loved the game of basketball. So what we have is we have parents putting a lot of pressure on these kids to say, you got to make it. You got to make it. These kids aren't made for that. They have to understand what sports, what kids are supposed to learn for sports is what? Discipline. For every action, there's a reaction. Focusing on something. Emotion, managing your emotions. Sports is supposed to teach kids more about life. So that's why sports is good for kids because they can learn about life, how to deal with something when something's too hard, how to deal with something when it's too easy, how to deal with something when you can't understand it and you're in the moment, how to deal with your emotions. That's where sports is good for kids. See what I'm saying? But we're in a situation now with kids sports where parents put too much pressure on these kids. So these kids quit. They're like, I don't want to deal with that. Nope. I don't want to deal with that pressure. I don't want to deal with you being mad with me because I didn't score or I didn't play hard. I don't want you to be like kids are like now are like, I don't want that. Because before, like these parents used to just let their kids play. The parents would go away, let the kids figure out the sport on their own. But now the parents are trying to be the coach, the GM, the owner. They're putting so much pressure on everybody where the kid is kind of like, I don't want to do that. This is the reason why you have these kids that's just saying, I don't want to play sports because my parents is crazy. Right? Another reason we have the rise of the phone, social media, gaming, all those things that kids rather do than play sports. Why? It's because that's their world. Their parents don't understand the social media, the gaming, doing things on a computer. They don't understand it, so the kids feel more comfortable doing that because you don't understand this. You can't tell me how to do this because you don't know how to do this. So maybe we'll start seeing from this generation coming up that's good into computers, maybe their kids will get back into sports because they'd be like, you don't know how to play this sport. It's always going to be the opposite because kids just really want their independence. But you have to give kids their independence, especially in sport, to let them learn the sport. The less pressure you put on kids, the better they'll be because they're learning the sport and they're not worrying about making you happy. See what I'm saying? Because a lot of kids will do things in the game and you're like, yes, but the kid doesn't feel comfortable doing it. But sports needs to come back because what we see, especially in the basketball realm, you see traveling leagues expensive, AAU, you see kids just there's no focus on the fundamentals. That's in a lot of sports. People just want to be superstars. These kids just want to be superstars in a sport so they can get their social media game up and make instant money. There's no delayed gratification in sports from the kids and the parents. Everybody's like, we need success right now. And this is why kids are like, okay, if I can't shoot like Steph Curry in my first game, I quit. If I can't do it, but you don't understand how much work that Steph Curry put into that. If I can't hit the ball like Serena Williams, I quit. Well, you quit because you can't hit like Serena Williams, but you have to practice that. But these kids don't want to practice anymore. These parents put too much pressure on everybody. And that's the reason why sports has gone down the way that it has. But then that's why you look at Europe. Europe is killing in these sports in America. It's because they don't focus on the fame. They focus on the fundamentals. So this is why you have to teach your kids the fundamentals. No matter what sport it is, the fundamentals are important. But that's why kids don't want to play. It's too much in America. We have too much instant gratification, instant success, instant popularity. Everybody wants the microwave success. They want it right now. It doesn't matter if it comes and goes, but they want to experience that. They want the money right now. Sports really teaches you that you have to work hard for something to be successful. You can't be like Jordan from the start. You can't shoot like Steph. You can't hit like Serena. You can't kick the ball like Trinity Rodman. You can't shoot the ball like Caitlin Clark from the jump. You have to put in the work in order to learn the game. And that's where the success comes from. That's the beauty of sports. It teaches you like about life. Anything you want to do in life takes time. That's the same thing for sports. So it really starts with the parents. It starts with the parents just play the sport, have fun, enjoy it. And it also starts with these leagues. You got to come with these prices to paying these things. It's too expensive. It's like these parents need a freaking 18th job just to pay for a softball season or basketball season or soccer season. It's just too expensive. And that's the reason why a lot of parents just say, you know what, my kid sucks anyway. I'm not even going to wait for him to build or her to build up in the sport. I'm just going to take them out and just have them do something else. So that's the problem that we all have to come together and because sports is very important. We have to take the focus on sports away from the money and put our focus on what it actually teaches the child. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys' support. When you do subscribe, hit that notification button. And as always, we're going to keep this thing rolling. And we're going to keep this thing rolling as always. And also, the Daily Show is coming. Appreciate you guys.